want to be sooner
That's right.
to be there at the threshold.
They need to submit the application.
Why is this 10 months?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Why is this 10 months after expiration, or 8 months, or 9 months?
Well, because... I could tell you usually what it is, but Brad can talk about the specifics of this.
Typically what happens.
Once it's deemed incomplete, then it's up to the applicant and however much time they need to put all the information together to get it into staff for them to review it again, and then you also have the public noticing hearing times.
We had 8 months of incomplete application.
The application was turned in.
And again, we're all trying to set
Of
up
August.
things here.
The
Right?
application was turned in August 25th.
Deemed complete, August 25th. You know, it's a...
No, it was submitted.
So it expired in January, and nobody said anything or looked for it, and suddenly it pops up in August?
They may have been notified. It may have been just that they were notified, and it really does take some time, even if the applicant doesn't submit something. That's why I did not want to start speculating. Usually in a case that has expired, it takes some time for the staff to notify the applicant that your application is expired, and we go through some back and forth, and then they come in. We double charge now the fee if they have expired, so there is a penalty, and that was not in place at the time. And then we go through the process. And then what Brad was outlining is the Permit Streamlining Act, which we follow according to state law. Based on that, we go through this back and forth with the applicants, and they have a certain number of days. We have a certain number of days to deem an
Well,
application.
if we first got it in August, that's a respectable period. All right. Okay. Well, so, I'm sorry, you're starting to say something?
Well, I am, my thinking now is I would support the 2 years for the reasons stated. Business can have an extended period of time to follow the conditions and to understand the impact that we've identified and the concerns we've identified now. It allows them time to do that. During that period of time, in relation to the complaints, it would be my hope that the business would work in a way that not only they would take care of the concerns and issues now that they can, but they would try to come up with creative ways, or at least have an awareness that they're not going to cause any problems. They would be sensitive to the complaints. So that would hopefully give some relief to the residents. And then the conditions that we would apply relative to the times that noise could take place and so on. And I think Mr. Kahn had mentioned an item about a fence, some fencing. Was that? I don't know if that was you. One of the conditions. Maybe that was. Okay. But my point was the conditions can be reiterated and enhanced to make sure that we do our best to accommodate everybody's concerns.
Well, based on the information at hand, I'm willing to compromise in the 2 years. It's just going to put, a burden and a requirement on the neighborhood to be the squeaky wheel, and we'll see how things look in approximately 2 years.
Yeah, I believe that this is after it came to a hearing here, and then now everybody is under the microscope, so that if there's any type of activities that the early morning activities that was caused by the client, and I guess you'll know right away that they are the ones. So and since you're under the microscope, as soon as any type of violation is cited, they'll be right back here, telling us why, and
And you need to recognize that you lost from 5 years, you're down to 2 because of perceptions. So you've got 2 years, or I think you'll get 2 years by the time this motion's passed, and eyes are going to be watching in terms of behavior patterns. Can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Mr. Chairman, I move that upon review and consideration of all materials and exhibits of current record relative to use variance case number PVAR 2009-036, located at 1371 East Colorado, and after having conducted a hearing on said matter, that the Planning Commission hereby approves said use variance case number PVAR 2009-036 in accordance with the findings set forth below, which I will not read. They're in the record, and there are 13 conditions, and the motion would amend two of the conditions. One, condition number 10 reads, any vehicles used for loading or unloading purposes shall do so solely on the subject property without blocking any common driveways or parking spaces. And I would add the sentence, loading, unloading, or standing with the engine or refrigerator running shall be prohibited between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. And I'm given an hour on the morning side for trucks that just show up waiting for somebody to come open the back door.
At the stated 9 a.m.
9 a.m. opening. Okay, and then that explanation wasn't part of the motion, that was just the explanation. Condition number 11, I would add a sentence that says, right now 11 says that all music, lighting, or other sound produced on the premises shall not be audible off-site so as not to disturb persons in other occupancies, businesses, or in the public right-of-way. Just to ensure that there are no unwanted sounds, we would add the sentence, business hours shall be limited to the hours between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. And the final condition, number 13, would be that the authorization granted herein shall be valid for a period of 2 years until November 18th, 2011, at which time reapplication must be made.
Point of clarification, the hours of operation to 10 p.m., they testified it was only Monday and Tuesday that they were open that late.
The wholesale, you're right.
Yeah, and then 6 p.m. on any other days.
So I think you would you wish to amend your operation, that would be 9 to 6 p.m. except for, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. except for Monday and Tuesday, 6 to 10.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah.
I second that motion as stated.
Motion and support. Would you call roll, please?
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
We got
Commissioner
2 years.
Sheets,
Aye.
Commissioner Torgerson,
Aye.
Chairperson Kane.
Aye, and a vote of 4-0. Use variance case PVAR 2009-036 has been granted renewal for a period of 2 years. Planning Department updates?
Yes, we have, the council's now appointed all 5 new members, and then also Mr. Torgerson has completed 2 3-year terms, so this is the end of your 6th year, so we're going to miss you. Thank you for all your service. And
I want to see one glorious proclamation as it relates to his contributions.
The director.
and just so you know who the new
No, the
council, we don't know
cameras are
exactly when the
from the-
commission.
Hold on,
Control
hold on,
room.
please. Thank you. Continue, Miss. That's all right. No worries. Laura, go ahead.
We don't know when the swearing-in ceremony will occur, but we know that the appointees are Stephanie Landrigan, Eric Yessian, then obviously Bill Kane, Hank Sheets, and Chang Lee. So we'll have a full commission. Hopefully, it'll be the first meeting in December.
Great, next meeting.
Next meeting.
All right. Very good. In our cases, we've got the continuation, we've got,
Yeah, we have 2 continuations, and then we have I believe it's another use variance coming up at the next meeting.
boy, there's a plethora of those now, isn't
But it's an
there?
appeal. Sorry, it's an appeal that you'll have at the next one.
All right,
It's 1326 Barrington appeal.
okay.
And then we also have 2 new appeals that have just come in last week. So you'll be seeing those. That's at 2036 Lilac Lane and 1650 Hasbeth.
All right.
And we'll also have a proclamation at the next meeting, correct?
And we're looking forward to Mr. Torgerson at least joining us for part of that meeting so we can properly thank you.
We'll rearrange the agenda appropriately. All right. Anything else from Planning Department? All right. Comments from commissioners?
I certainly have a comment.
Mr. Torgerson.
I just wanted to thank the Planning Department and my fellow commissioners for absolutely fascinating 6 years of service on the Planning Commission. It's been extremely enjoyable. Between the Planning Commission and working with the Hillside Ordinance Working Group for a long time and working on all the updates and modifications to the general plan over the years, it's been a very satisfying 6 years. I'm a little sorry I didn't volunteer to continue on, but I've already talked to Hassan Haghani about continuing on with some other working groups, and I'll be talking to some of the city councilmen about further opportunities and activities in the city of Glendale. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen and ladies.
We'll add more remarks. I'll add more remarks at the next meeting as it relates to proclamation. It's just been a pleasure working with you, Lee.
Thanks, Bill.
Mr. Lee?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of echo that. It's been a pleasure. Actually, with you, Mr. Chair, and then also with Mr. Torgerson, it was a pleasure just watching you guys. And it's a still learning curve. I'm sorry that you're losing your right-hand man.
In this case,
Well,
left hand.
So it just puts more pressure on us, our freshmen here. But it's been a great pleasure, Mr. Torgerson. Thank you.
All right. Very good. If there's nothing else, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.